This stream contains fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy and other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised. For the second year in a row, North America and Brazil will be battling out for the crown in a best-of-5 series. Shopify are looking for a back-to-back title, but they will have to take down a red-hot MIBR in order to do it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Riot Games Arena here in Berlin, Germany. I'm your host, Yingsu. I'm joined by Kakuka and a very special guest, Fnatic Meg. Hello, Meg. Woo!
Yes!
What a crazy surprise. I was not expecting to be here, so I'm very, very happy to be joining you.
We brought the best of the best. We have the best teams. We needed you as well.
Stop it. Thank you. I'm blushing.
She said it all. She said it all. Now, here's the thing. As I said in that intro, you know, we have a banging final coming up. We've got a Shopify Rebellion versus MIBR. But I do know that, Meg, you are a G2 Gozen super fan.
I'm heartbroken.
So, yeah, talk me through your emotions about the result yesterday.
I mean, I love the G2 girls so much. I know no one's more heartbroken than they are, but, you know, it was just such a disappointing way to kind of see them go out. You know, MIBR absolutely dominated, and I'm sure they're going to be loving coming into this, you know, beating one of the world's best. But, yeah, my heart goes out to G2. I love them.
I mean, it's understandable, right, that we have that kind of feeling. I would think of the rest of the year. For the first time, they were able to secure all 3 regional tournaments. Yes, they didn't make it to the final this time, but, you know, is our girls from G2 Gozen, they'll come back swinging even stronger.
I can't help but feel I cursed them a little bit. Every single time in this tournament, I predicted them to win. It did not happen. So I'm sorry, G2, it was me. But here's the thing. If you guys are here currently in the Riot Games Arena, by the way, if you're at home, next time, come along, love it here. I want to invite everybody, everybody here, to participate in our predictions. We have already had a few up here. I can see Kakuka, your name is there. Mitchman is there. We have some of the cosplayers too that participated already to basically vote for who you think is going to win today. Right now, it's almost
I have a suggestion.
Even. Yeah.
There is someone I want to see. Medica, do you want to submit your vote?
Yes, Medica, come on.
From
I want
we
Medica
have a lot
to
of
vote
game changers
live.
players here.
We
so
do.
Please, if you're here, let us know. We would love to have some interviews. We want to have your predictions as well.
And of course, here's a mic as well. If you want to introduce yourself, Medica.
Hi, I'm Medica, LFT currently, so pick me up, guys.
Pick her up. I want you to vote. Just write your name on one of these sticky notes and put it on the board. Oh, okay. On the side here, and yeah, put your name down. And everyone, make sure, you know, you swing by the whiteboard. I want to see by the end of today what kind of result we're going to get here. And Meg, I need you to come over here as well very quickly. Thank you, Medica. Have a great day.
Well, actually,
go on. Come on, Meg.
This is a lot of pressure.
You need to tell us about your decision making for this.
Okay, MIBR obviously are incredibly strong right now, but I've got to rep my Shopify girlies. Like, they are the GOATs. I stand
I'll hold the
by
mic
them.
for you where you
Thank
write.
you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, we're evening up the scores here bit by bit, and we'll check in with this. We'll see where it goes by the end of today. Thank you very much, Meg. Thank you.
We want this board to be full by the end of it. So before you go into the stage, make sure you submit your vote.
Make sure you do
we know who you're
and that brings us even to the Mastercard fan poll. We want to know, you guys at home, on who you think is going to win the grand finals today. Make sure to scan the QR code on your screens to cast your vote. And while you're there, use the hashtag VCT Game Changers and VCT as well, so we can feature you on the broadcast. We will have the result of the fan poll in just a few moments. We'll see who you guys have voted for. Kakuka, I also saw your vote right here. The first one
Yes.
on the board with MIBR.
Yeah, so my heart is completely divided. I think that many people are going to be in the exact same situation. There was a lot of votes going the SR side, and even though I would love to see them lifting the trophy, I would love to see Mel holding the trophy for the first time. I have to say that the run that MIBR is having through the lower bracket is unseen, is unheard of, and I think that they have the momentum and they're peaking at the right time.
By the way, no matter what happens today, one male will lift a trophy.
Yeah.
There are
True.
2 males.
True. Yeah.
There are literally 2 males, so we shall see indeed. But for now, let's check in with Mika Fabs, who was standing by with MIBR's Jelly a little bit earlier.
You are running late. Hurry up over. Come over here. Jelly is here with me, one of my favorite players this entire GCC. Now, Jelly, the team is fresh from that 3-0 versus G2 yesterday, and it looked like everything was working perfectly for MIBR. It looks like you were some kind of flow state. Can you share with us what that flow state is like for the team?
I think the flow state that we get into is mostly having a lot of fun. You can see us screaming each round. We can like hyping each other up, even trash talking opponents. It's nothing personal, of course. It's always just the game. It's part of the game that we try to bring to the stage. And when we get into that flow state, it's really hard to get us out. Nothing can really, I think, tip us over. And it's amazing to be playing in that flow state. Like everything just works, and it's so exciting to play.
Well, if it's anything like yesterday, I mean, I think you guys are definitely on the right track. Seeing that 100% MIBR today, yep, that's a promise. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
It's amazing to watch Jelly as well. That's what I gotta say. We have another special guest. The guests just don't stop coming. Cammy, you from Zifto, welcome. Thank you for
Hello,
joining us.
Berlin! Hello.
Hello. Here's the thing though. Jelly, MIBR, I know you're very, very familiar with them. She was talking a little about trash talking on stage. Were you ever on the receiving end of any trash talks this tournament?
Oh wow, to be honest, I don't really hear any trash talk because I'm so focused on my monitor and I'm just gonna look at that. I cannot even see them trash talking as unless I watch the replay.
Yeah, but we've seen you like standing up and screaming. So, but it's only for your team. You never pay attention to what the other team's doing.
No, I don't.
To be fair, you're probably drowned out by Alexi screaming. That's like you can't hear anything else.
Basically, like, what's Alexi saying?
I also wanted to ask you, it's been a great tournament. Everyone's had a great time. What was your favorite memory here at Champs?
Oh, I have a lot of favorite memory here. My favorite one is my amazing play on Pearl. And the second one is I met a lot of pro players here. And I actually have one more.
Okay.
My favorite statement that I always want to see you guys saying and hear you guys saying is like, oh, she looks like Davai's sister, which is I am Davai's sister.
I want to say David's sister.
David.
Yeah, Finesse is going to absolutely love that. What about you, Kakuka?
I mean, I think I have to mention the Zeta run. It brought me back all the way to 2022 when we were in Iceland, and it was the same for Zeta Division's roster. I think that we all love that kind of hope. We cheered for them. We loved their energy. And to me, this tournament is like summer camp. It happens once a year, hopefully more in the future. And I'm just very happy to see everybody. Also, crew's run. I love the new crew. So I would pick those two for me. What about you?
Honestly, I'm there with you. I think the Zeta run, you have to cheer for them a little bit. But I think maybe after today, the MIBR lower bracket run, depending on what happens.
First trophy for Brazil.
Also, I got to shout out the fans. The fans have been amazing this event. And Cammy, I heard and I saw that you actually met one of your super fans. Talk me through that.
Yeah. Basically, when we go home after our match with crew, I saw Dirke on
No, he saw you.
Yeah.
He saw you.
He saw me, and then I was like, are you the one who I'm thinking you are? Then he said, yeah, that's me. And then I said like, can you take a picture, but can you be the one to hold it? So it looks like you wanted to take a picture with me.
You're so iconic.
You are actually so real for that. You are so real for that. As he should. But I genuinely mean it though, shouting out to the fans. The fact that you hear them cheering for both teams every game and it's so loud. There's so much energy as well. Kakuka, it makes me want to play on stage. I don't know about you.
Yeah, exactly. And if you had the chance of coming here, if you were part of those fans, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for tagging along. You will not want to miss it in the future, but I could not play on stage. I'd be so nervous.
Hey, I've seen you play on stage. amazing. You
Yes,
were amazing.
and
She
I
was
was loud.
amazing, by the way. While we have you here, Camille, can we roll in the whiteboard one more time? Because I want to get your
Nico,
prediction
could you get
on
us the
today.
whiteboard, please?
Let's roll it in because I think Meg voted for SR. We had Medica go with MIBR. And Camille, if you would like to step over here and write your name on the team you think is winning today and put it on the whiteboard, I'm very interested to see.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
no,
a separate one.
grab a new one,
Yeah, a separate one. Oh, wait, another vote for SR. How do we feel about this, everyone in the arena right now? We like this? We like it, we like it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you need to tell us why. Why, after, you know, the match that you had against MIBR, you feel like SR is stronger? Why?
My prediction for this was SR, right? Because I actually fought with both of them, but I feel like in terms of experience, like on big stage, I feel like SR has a lot more advantage.
Ooh, you voted for MIB. I was going to be like, do you agree? Probably not. While we're on that topic as well, Camille, we will be giving out a bit of an MVP award a little bit later. We'll discuss it when we get there. But are there any players that you feel like has impressed you a lot this tournament, could potentially be your MVP?
Personally, my MVP would be SRN.
Oh,
Okay.
why?
Because I've seen like the clips and stuff. I always see like on my feed, you know, like the name SRN Ace and stuff like, oh my god, SRN Ace again and stuff.
Oh, your For You page.
Yeah,
is
my
just
For You
SRN.
page.
I love that. Well, I mean, I'm going to get your pick a little bit later, but anyone here, SRN, MVP SRN, how do we feel? Okay. I feel like maybe we got to do an MVP board maybe later.
Yeah,
just
I
to
think that
replicate
people
it.
are thinking that maybe you can spell SRN without SR, so maybe I think that Floor
Whoa!
could have, you know, some chances here. I think that yeah, exactly. Do we want Fluorescent for the MVP? Yes, you want it.
Do you know what? Very quickly, while we have you, I'm gonna just give you the floor. I know you want to vote for SR. We have to get the SR superfan out here.
Yes.
Here's your chance. Get on the board. This is the most important vote today, by the way. Just in case you guys at home don't know, this is as super fan as you can get when it comes to super fans. So thank you for voting. Guaranteed. Oh, guaranteed. All right, we will see. We'll find out later if they do make this. But for now, you guys heard from Jelly already on the side of MIBR. So why not check in with Mel as well on Shopify? Here's Mika Fabs.
Get over here. We have one of the GOATs of the entire Game Changer scene with me right now. We have Mel. I know you're so used to being like so flattered this entire event, right? But this, you know, this past 3 days feels like deja vu, especially with what happened yesterday, right? Is this, you think, foreshadowing for SR's win?
I hope so, but we'll see how the game goes today. But I do hope so.
Why do you think the team like works so well together for all these years?
I think we've just been together a long time at this point, and we really are a team. Like, we do everything together, and I've spent more time with them than I do like my own family, my partner, and my cats. Like, pretty much most of my minutes of my day are spent with them, so.
It's just 24/7 Shopify Rebellion, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, good luck to you.
Moose is gonna stick this one. There's that drop. Oh my god, Moose! Towards the front. Alexis trying to do everything on her own.
E chega na ultimate! Grabbing himself a weapon now. A series of the one who comes up to the red is right above it. Great lead. A phenomenal round.
Oh my, 4 kills for Mimi. Mimi with the ace.
A vantagem aumenta. E agora só Daiki Sayuri!
But opening first is MIBR. Fortnite is just way too fast.
Buena por parte de Com que saca la doble.
It's Oxy again!
Oh my god!
It's time to dive into today's grand finals and talk about our teams in a little bit more detail. I've got plenty of help with that. Welcome, Enda and Mimi. How are you guys feeling?
Feeling good. I mean, this is I think a lot of people expected it to be SR versus G2, but having another Brazil against Shopify final is still really exciting, and it does feel like MIBR has a real chance today.
Yeah, especially in the fashion that they won yesterday's game in. I mean, they have got to be feeling so good, and even hearing from SRN saying that when they start feeling that momentum, there's nothing that can stop them.
Well, maybe there is one thing potentially that could stop them, but let's talk about this lower bracket run, because I don't think it's an exaggeration to call this maybe one of the best lower bracket runs we've ever seen.
It's so insane because it's literally back-to-back years, different Brazilian teams. This is the sole representative of their region, coming out, losing a fairly early game, and then just absolutely activating in this lower bracket.
But this is a team that just peaks at exactly the right moments, because even if you look at their record over the course of the year, it started off difficult early on, right? Like Team Liquid was the strongest team in Brazil for a long time running, but when it came to that last qualifier, all of a sudden it's MIBR out on top. It's them winning in a best-of-5 LAN final, and then again here at GCC, peaking in that lower bracket and looking their best.
Yeah, and this team talks a lot about how momentum-based they are, how once that energy gets rolling, like you're saying, they just keep it going. They channel it so well. But I think yesterday proved that even when they hit stumbles, map 1, they were tested quite a few times. They lost eco rounds, they lost some clutches, but they stayed in it. They kept the momentum up, and that actually gives me a lot of confidence in this team today, that even if they lose the map, lose some bad rounds to Shopify, they can bounce back and channel that energy again.
Especially if Sayuri has a day-to-day like she did yesterday. I mean, this is a team where SRN and Jelly, they're the absolute stars, but the IGL yesterday, especially on Bind, was playing out of her freaking mind, Mimi.
It was unreal, and map 1 on Pearl, I think she was getting out-called for most of that by Mimi. Mimi was calling kind of a masterclass, but second half rolls around, and she steps up big time. Jelly even has her
I want
biggest
Jelly
fans.
to win now.
Shout out the cats.
That's swayed me. I was like 51% 49. Yes, Jelly.
Was that like a real Polaroid of the cats too?
Yeah,
That's so cute.
I saw it on her Instagram.
Yeah, so you're
yesterday.
talking like Shopify don't have cats.
Go on.
They've got
Mel,
cats.
I've met Mel's 2 cats. One is a kitten. They're both incredibly cute. And do you see the plushie she has on stage?
Yes, you're right.
They're of her
right.
2 cats.
This is why I'm so divided. But one thing that we know for sure, though, is this clean run from Shopify. Last year, you know, they dropped a map. So this year, what did they do, Christy? They didn't drop any maps. It's even better than last year.
Completely perfect. What's insane to me is that this team has only played 6 games here in GCC.
It's insane.
MIBR played 13, more than double the amount of games, but it just goes to show how clean Shopify have looked.
And also Shopify now, because of that clean run, they've earned a double ban advantage. G2 played binds both times they matched up against, I almost said Team Liquid, against MIBR there. But Shopify most likely not going to have to do that. They get to ban away their opponent's best map. They get to ban away their perma of split as well, which puts them in an even stronger position because of that dominant run.
If we do want to zoom out for a second and talk about their history over the course of the year, though, this was a very different road to getting here, because usually Shopify just dominates regionally.
Yeah, they never even drop a match in an A.
Exactly. And yet this team actually got a little bit humbled in the qualifiers for Stage 3. When MIBR were heating up, Shopify actually took a little bit of a step back when they dropped to a team like FlyQuest Red, when they dropped to YFE.
Yeah, and no one would have seen that coming, losing to those teams. But once they got to this 3rd series, that's when they locked in, and it looked like peak Shopify.
Yeah, I can speak from a little personal experience going up against them in the main
Teddy
event.
Tactics?
Teddy, we had to play against them in the first round of main event, which was just unreal. We got, look, our everyone's president, Noya, completely shut us down. But this was a team that I felt like in the past, when they had played against, like, you know, local competition, they would play fast and loose, right? Like Fluorescent would be running you down, overheating, just seeking out kills. But the way they played against us was so drilled and so locked in. They'd also brought in Coach Odorous right before that to help out with Effie's. And I think this team has looked absolutely perfect ever since that main event in Stage 3.
As a little anecdote, the team Chrissy coaches in main event GC, you messaged me before the game when you had played a warm-up scrim against Shopify and just said, "We got rolled. We're so cooked." Oh, this team, it's like I feel like they have an aura about them. They are one of the probably the toughest team to prep for because they play so little, because they stomp everyone. It's so tough to find a gap, and they have such an aura that also just makes you afraid to play against them.
And of course, this will be the second time in a row they're going to be in the grand finals. But there's one thing that is different from last year, which is if Shopify win today, Melange will touch that trophy. She's going to be able to lift it.
And last year was absolute heartbreak for her, having COVID, playing in isolation without her team, especially after the failure in Berlin the first time. You saw it, the immediate elation, and then she just starts crying because she couldn't lift it with them. She couldn't be there in front of the crowd. And she's talked about it. It didn't mean the same. Obviously, you're excited to win, but not getting to do it with your best friends, with the team you have played with for so long, it's different. So winning today would mean so much to Mel, and I imagine the team is going to step up to give her that moment.
It's a huge different, like, I don't know, so many different emotions going into it as well, because it's about lifting the trophy, but it's also about coming back here to Berlin, right? The first GCC ever, Cloud9 White were expected to dominate the entire event and win absolutely everything, and they faltered. But after that, that was the motivation that they took to then come back and win it last year. So having that full circle moment to right both those wrongs has to mean so much for the team.
Yeah, and there's potentially something else that could mean a lot to these players as well, because following today's grand final celebration, we will be giving out the Most Valuable Player Award. We've got 2 front runners right now, and this is how Fluorescent and SRN have compared to the other desk MVPs we've given previous years. Of course, you'll remember Mary coming in hot with an amazing performance. It's Floor last year as well. And looking at these statistics between Floor this year and SRN, we're set up to have maybe one of the closest MVP, award choices we've ever had.
Yeah, and this is, of course, looking at the entire event, not just their results today. But, I mean, look at the ACS, over 300 on both the players, a 2.1 KD on Fluorescent as well. Even looking compared to the previous years, it goes to show how dominant those 2 players have been in server so far this event.
I also think it's interesting to see the contrast. This is almost all Neon for Floor. It's almost all the Rays for SRN. They're both having such incredible output for their respective teams, but I think doing it in a very different way. SRN is the superstar. Shopify is a team that has other players that are stepping up, rising to the occasion too. But later in this tournament, we've seen that as well from Team Liquid, from MIBR, excuse
That's the
me.
one, yep. But honestly, like, what blows my mind in a way is, like, how good SRN is, not just at shooting, because obviously she's killing absolutely everybody, but really it's her utility. Like, the amount of nade kills she was getting yesterday, the way she was outplaying ResQ's Raze to get the 1v1 with the Raze rocket ult, like, she is just so locked in on the Raze character to crush you with those abilities.
Yeah, I think the utility that you're bringing up is the biggest thing. It's also how well she coordinates with the rest of the team. I can't really think of many rounds outside of anti-ecos where SRN is overheating. She does a really good job of speeding up and taking the time she has, but also slowing down. You have such a potent duo between her and Jelly, but I think there is a clear winner. If we just ended the tournament today, didn't play a final, Floor would have to lock that in from what her performance has been. But if MIBR is going to go out and win this one, it will be because of SRN.
Okay, before we move on to Floor, you had an anecdote. I want to share my anecdote as well. In rehearsals, you know, we saw the MVP brace, and Mimi, you were bringing it out. The players were looking at it, and I was kind of chatting with them, being like, oh, look, the brace, it looks so sick. And SRN turned to me, very little emotion, just went, that's mine.
That's so sick.
I was like, oh, I had chills. I was like, oh, okay. But here's the thing, though. You could say that, but you have to get past Floor to get there. That's probably going to be the hardest challenge anyone could face.
Yeah, I mean, look, Floor, especially in a Neon meta, is a completely different beast. This is a player that, like, 2 years ago, I was messaging her because she had been playing the Neon for a while, and then all of a sudden on Misfits, they're putting her on the Jet, and I'm like, why did you switch over? She's like, I don't know. My team just wanted me to. They think Jet's better. But her Neon is the real deal. Absolutely next level movement, and she's just been styling people ever since the buffs to the slide.
She played the agent before it was cool.
Yeah.
It becomes cool again. She wraps back around, starts playing Neon again, and I don't think there's a contest. She's the best Neon player of the event by far.
And the thing about Fluorescent, she's always cool.
She's so cool.
That's true.
Honestly, I also would never get tired of the her floor is your ceiling lower third. I
Yeah.
would never get tired of
And
that.
it's real.
Yeah, it is really real. I mean, she's even cool when she's falling off of maps, you know, in high pressure situations. That's when she just giggles.
The op, Yinsu.
Yeah.
That was on purpose.
But it's the fact that the team is able to just giggle, you know, just be like, that's okay, we're 12-11, you know, we could just not go to overtime. And I think that kind of sets them apart, right, from the rest of the teams we have.
It comes with the amount of experience they have playing together, because obviously you have this Shopify team that's been playing together for the last 2 years, but you also have Mel and Alexis that have been playing together for the last century. It seems like for
Yeah.
4 years now, something like that.
By the way, they've played every Game Changers event in NA, every global Game Changers event, the first ever GC event before it was a global thing, when it was just NA. They won that one. I mean, that is the duo. And then you contrast that to MIBR, who is all players who have never made it to an international event before, who is a team that no one had won a regional event before they went and won it to qualify. This is very much the new generation of GC players. The players that were probably watching Mel and Alexi really win that trophy 3 years ago, got inspired, and are now going out here and doing it themselves.
It's a great final no matter what way you look at it, and it's time to get the results of our Mastercard fan poll. Earlier, we asked you which team is going to win it all,
Holy.
and I guess North America is awake, but Brazil isn't just yet. Is that how why the
Brazil
poll?
wakes up earlier than North America.
Oh, I don't know
yeah.
anything about.
They're further
time
to the east.
differences. I got
Probably
no
watching
idea.
the
Zero.
Brazilian stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, zero.
Probably the real thing. But I'm going to be honest, I think that is a reasonable predict. I think 80% is a little crazy, but Shopify is the favorite. They have a map ban advantage. They've been on fire all tournament. Like, it feels like their chance to go back to back.
Even with the talent prediction is the same way as the fans. It feels like, you know, we have some of the talent members predicting MIBR, but my eyes draw to Christine, because Potter is never wrong. Let's be honest.
Well, there's a first time for everything, and today's that day.
I will say though, Potter in the green room told us that she saw in a dream SRN winning the trophy and winning the MVP award as well. So
If that's not, you know, the
if the
prophet, I
world
don't know what
champion's
is.
dreams are real, if she's that prophetic, it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out. We'll find out. And I want to see you actually go up against Christine and try and prove her wrong. But before that,
I'd lose.
Fluorescent is on her way to achieve true GOAT status. If she is able to manage back-to-back titles today, I don't think it's going to be even disputable who is the greatest player of all time when it comes to Valorant game changers. And this is what she had to say about today's matchup in this OMEN player moment. Enjoy.
Hi, my name's Fluorescent, and I'm the duelist for Shopify Rebellion. It didn't feel like a 2-0 at all. They're a good team because they play together pretty well. I don't know if I'd say complex or like diverse, but they definitely play different. Like there's a lot of like weird comps that you'll see or weird strats, but they just don't really play to the norm. Our matches have been definitely closer because the first 2 series last year were kind of like complete sweeps, but this year, even since the first match, we've had to really bring everything that we have. It just felt intense and close. I liked it.
It's fake. She gets up off of it. Noy's looking for the right time to emerge here. Floor, oh my goodness, she attracts a lot of attention. And there's Mimi falling.
They've had a really good run, especially coming from the lower bracket so early against G2. But the same thing happened last year with Liquid. Yeah, the storyline feels a little too good to be true. I think Jelly's really good. I love watching her play like any sort of flex agent, especially the Gecko. She just throws all her util and just starts destroying everyone. MIBR, I'm excited to play against you guys. I don't think you guys have seen my full potential yet, and I'm really excited to show it.
How hard is it really to make history? Maybe winning back-to-back championships, or perhaps becoming the first team from your region to lift a global trophy. In case you didn't realize, it is not exactly easy. There is, however, a huge opportunity today. No matter what happens, both Shopify Rebellion and MIBR have a chance to make history. Shopify have proven time and time again they're not just contenders, but conquerors of game changers who have what it takes to be the first to win not 1, but 2 GC Champs titles. one trophy alone is a luxury, and that is something Brazilian GC have yet to experience, and is not for a lack of trying. But that could all change if MIBR, the lower bracket demons, the fearless competitors, can overcome their hardest challenge yet. This is all you need to remember. For Shopify, tonight is about solidifying a legacy. And for MIBR, this is their chance to rewrite the narrative. Will it be a coronation or the dawn of a new era? We'll soon find out. So, without further ado, let's kick off the grand finals of Valorant Game Changers Championship 2024.
Winning in 2023 champs, I had COVID. I was away from my team, away from my family, away from the fans, away from the noise. I think a lot of my motivation comes from not having felt the true victory of standing on stage, lifting the trophy with my best friends, my teammates, in front of the crowd, in front of fans all over the world. My team stepped up, so I can only imagine that we'll step up now when I'm on stage with them.
O começo desse campeonato foi... A primeira experiência foi contra a Giant X.
The gameplay was just stunning today. The aimers unrelenting.
A gente acabou enfrentando a G2.
That was just complete annihilation.
Depois da partida que a gente perdeu pra G2, acho que a gente abriu nossas mentes para alguns erros que estavam acontecendo dentro do time. A gente conversou muito, a gente chorou muito juntas. Depois daquele reset que a gente teve contra a G2, o nosso time virou outro time.
MIBR trying to recreate that same magical run that Liquid went on last year through the lower bracket.
Sayori sees Moko, sees Serena. It's all too easy for MIBR. The first ever 13-0 map in Game Changers Champions history. MIBR just look to be far, far superior in every aspect of the game right now.
Coming from lowers, just like last year with Liquid, the storyline feels a little too good to be true, but it's very exciting.
This Shopify team is so deadly in their current form.
I'm so proud of my teammates. I don't know if they know how much they mean to me, but they are my sisterhood. Flora is extremely confident. I don't think I even see her flinch, ever.
I don't think you guys have seen my full potential yet. For Grand Finals, I'll come in even stronger.
Shopify Rebellion will advance to a GCC Grand Final.
It's one thing to win once, but to stay at the top with everyone watching you, we need to work twice as hard if we want to win again.
No Brasil, a gente acabou com a dinastia que a Liquid tinha, e eu acho que nosso time foi realmente feito para isso. Acabar com dinastias. Infelizmente vai ser mais um sonho quebrado, né? Mas vai ser um jogo muito bom. Para os brasileiros e que estão acompanhando a gente aqui, para trazer esse Mundial para vocês.
You know where the crown is. Come and take it.
Welcome to the 2024 Valorant Game Changers Grand Finals. All right. Well, this championship trophy calls out once again for its reigning champions. After a flawless run, the Rebels, with a cause, have a chance to make history here today as your first back-to-back Game Changers champions. Without further ado, let's welcome them to the stage. It's your first, your upper bracket finalist, Shopify Rebellion! and fluorescent! And finally, Coach Sheffies! And now their challengers, having braved the lower bracket run, are seeking to forge their own path and build their legacy. Welcome the team that was made in Brazil! With Juvis! Melissa! Jelly! And SRN! And finally, Coach Marlowe!
Both teams are fighting for the biggest and most important trophy in Game Changers. Shopify, they have tasted this victory already before MIBR. They are doing this for Brazil, for their region, but they're going to have to do it against a double ban.
Yeah, coming up against a hugely advantaged Shopify Rebellion, who get to ban away both their permaban and MIBR's best map in bind.
I am interested to see SR locking in the Pearl first. I kind of expected them to go into the Ascent early, where most other regions have struggled against that deadlock Cypher.
At least they get to finish on it. If
They
it goes
do.
5, that's going to look really good for Shopify. I do think Pearl being first is Shopify sort of saying, MIBR, we don't think your Pearl's very good. MIBR have only played this map once. It was their first map up against Giant X. They were playing a comp with a Sky in it. They were playing double smokes. And I think that's something Shopify are going to feel very confident going into.
This is worrying for MIBR when looking at the maps, because I see Pearl, I see Haven, and I think those are locked up maps for Shopify Rebellion. Sunset is a must-win for MIBR, but that's where they're going to be going head-to-head against Floor on one of her absolute best Neon maps.
Yeah, that's so scary. I feel like whenever you're running into one of these Neon maps that Shopify are going to be running, you're just instantly put at a disadvantage. That being said, there is, that Sunset is going to be raised territory for SRN, and again, yesterday was looking crazy on that one.
Are you surprised that the Ascent is going to be 5th? They've left it that late into the ball.
Honestly, I kind of dig it. Right? If you remember last year when it was, Shopify up against a Brazilian team in the finals, it goes all 5 maps, right? And at the end, they denied the reverse sweep. So having a power map coming in last is kind of an awesome card to be able to pull.
This is a map, as you mentioned, Chrissy, MIBR has not played a ton of this tournament, and they play a comp pretty different from what most other people are doing, only locking in the single initiator with that Sky, which I think means you're gonna have pretty limited utility to actually set SRN up for success. And also playing no Sentinel, just playing with that Killjoy, there's not a lot of mid-round info with only one initiator.
I think this might have been SRN's worst map of the tournament. They went 17 and 18, folks. Negative on the first time ever. Jelly and Sayuri actually completely dominated Giant X, but we're expecting SRN to show up.
I mean, you talk about the lack of utility, but for Jelly on their attack side, 0 assist, 18 kills.
Yeah.
You don't need to have any assist on Sky if you're just going to kill everybody. But it sounds like you two feel like MIBR, they have to make a wave here on this map if they want to have a chance in this series. But it's time to throw it over to your casters, and who better to cast this grand final than the GOATs, Pots, and Pans.
Thank you so much, and what a start to things here in Berlin. The crowd is so ready for this one. Everyone excited for this matchup. Plenty to be said about these two. One defending their title, the other, that Brazilian blood, coming back in to try and reclaim that crown. Christine, pound for pound though, those thoughts, those feelings, where are you leaning in this? What's at the forefront of your mind here?
It's pretty simple for me, Lauren. I'm looking at both of the superstars on both squads here. It's been all about Fluorescent, and it's certainly been all about SRN on MIBR's side of things. They're both going to be on Jet to open things up on this map. Jets get to have a lot of fun on Pearl, Lauren, as you know. So you can see all members of MIBR, they're looking to create a lot of pressure. And it's looking like we're going to get exactly what we want, SRN versus Fluorescent for this first contact.
Oh, that's a statement made, isn't it? Good start, right back to business. Takes a glance for a second. It wasn't a solo endeavor, but the timing for Sayori could be good, could be tragic. They do lose down one for Shopify. Alexis goes down, but the number's very favorable, and it feels very red at this point.
Yeah, at this point, MIBR, they've just got to pause. The turret also not giving them the information. I like that turret, though. You can see that it's holding the deep street angle deep into that back halls, but both players kind of separating with Jubes and not a lot of options on the table here. Jubes, she just wants to buy some time, potentially get a pick. If she's able to do that, then there should be a gap. You can see on the minimap, all of A site is open.
I like what Sarah's doing, kind of keeping this one together. That contact should be enough. Sit back a little deeper, play a little safe on this.
Juicy.
Should be a good bit of chip damage on there, yeah. I think it was Melissa who caught most of it. And now you can feel that split now finding its new momentum. And again, Fluorescent with a second, maybe even a third here. Once more, sitting in the right position. 4, yeah, 3 for 4. And some will stand up under scrutiny with a new challenger in the form of SRN. And Fluorescent has already done that.
Oh, sending a message early here, Lauren. I like the confidence coming out from MIBR. You saw a lot of sheriffs across the board. Some might question, you know, Sayuri has had such an incredible day yesterday, so I get it. But Astra, with all the utility that you can provide, the pickups, the gimmicks, and not to mention the post. So we'll see if that game plan changes just a little bit. But what an opening for Fluorescent to just set the tone, set the pace of this best of 5.
And you want that, right? When you were talking about this head-to-head, SRN against Floor, this is going to be that constant battle of dominance. Who gets to walk away? Who gets that confidence? Proves that! She answered my question! A real simple one, apparently, for Fluorescent. Farming it up. They want the ace. So does Floor at this point. 6-0. Not even out of round 2. Knives on the horizon.
Yes, her team is definitely going to allow her to farm this kill, for sure. And not to mention Fluorescent, it's doubtful that MIBR are going to be able to plant the spike here and get any sort of money either. They didn't plant the spike on the first round either on the pistol. That's going to hurt MIBR going into the next gun round. Half armor coming on the board. So you can expect Fluorescent with the knives in her back pocket as well. Another forward aggressive play coming through here. Pistol round, it was mid. Eco round is A main. Let's see where she chooses here for bonus. Those were headshots as well.
That's ridiculous.
That's just unnecessary, Floor. They don't have armor.
Over delivery. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I had to take a nice shot.
Straight there from Mel. Straight there. Look, she's not only on the stage for finals, so let her enjoy herself here. All right.
Look at this, Fluorescent tossing that weapon over to Noya. I love this. Just min-maxing this buy completely.
Feels like the game of try to avoid Floor. I mean, a couple of teams have tried to play the avoid SRN game. We've seen that historically, but already we're going to start seeing that build towards that A site.
Early dog here from Jelly. You can see MIBR are paranoid about what deep line that Outlaw is posted on. Fluorescent is just over towards this B site, being very patient, just tucked in. You can expect Alexis to be the first to rotate. She's got to show up quick. She's got to come with those flashes.
Yeah, heading on over here. Already space being taken away. Art's now controlled by SRN, has been noted, but they also know there's a player over towards that kind of copy, towards site. Good information here. They've got pretty much everything they need. Shopify Rebellion sitting a little deep on the site, but here comes the cavalry, here comes the flashes, here comes the nades, here comes Fluorescent right above the top, but dealt with initially, doesn't get that springboard forward, finds another potential victim, doesn't land. Sarah now swarms, Floor gets one, Sarah with a follow-up, and Floor now just starting to farm them out. Oh, and Sarah shuts down the account. That's a bonus, and it's been converted.
And that was too easy for Shopify. I mean, all along, they were fine with just allowing MIBR to get through. We've seen it time and time again. Sarah is able to find such perfect timings with her utility to allow her team to know, hey, they're actually in, and that's when the flood is on. Look at this, all members of Shopify together on the same line, matching each other's pace, and at no point did MIBR ever have a fair fight. And the facepalm coming out from the coaches,
you can feel it already.
I feel it, yeah.
Hey, look, you want to come for that crown, you want to try and fight for that title, you got Shopify fired up. This is a different beast altogether. We've seen how deadly MIBR can be. No one's going to dispute that. They've witnessed it. Look at the pace they're playing with.
The flank, the
sending
pinch.
in SRN. They are in so quick on this. Jelly completely stunning Noya and gets a follow-up on Mel. They've sliced right through them, but Flora is on the case. Looking to clear up. Sarah with the second hit. Follows up again. SRN falls. We're in a 2v2, and it's the heavy hitters. It's easy to get blinded by fluorescence lights, but Sarah shines just as brightly. Now, the problem is they're only on sheriffs. None of those weapons that they so hardly fought for are easily to hand. No ults to bank on. This is a very tough round for MIBR.
But MIBR, they're going to want to get a little bit more space, send Jubes to go sniffing a little bit deeper before they give away that sound cue. They've got to try to get some sort of advantage, but they decide Jubes has enough information here, and
Spike planted.
Sayuri's got to regroup. How far
Take flight.
Does she go?
That's Jubes heard the sound
Temptation.
timing.
This could be worth it. High risk, high reward, and Sarah, not too subtle on the steps. Floor already towards site here. Deeper positioning from Sayuri.
Though.
I love this so far. That plant is still not obviously for her, but that's fine. Gonna spot Floor, maybe make the assumption. Yes, that's both. Oh, okay. Controls the nerves now. Fluorescent in the 1v1. Time is against her. Floor just does the dance, but already takes the vulnerability. This is gonna make it far more doable, and time is beginning to tick, and Floor knows it. A shot works, but the round won nonetheless. MIBR against the odds, with a reminder that they're still here.
Scrappy, and that's the power of a Sky Jet combo, right? It was so simple coming through for Jelly, just sending this guy straight through the street, and the amount of space that SRN was actually able to get. I mean, this whole sequence was just chaotic, but that's kind of what MIBR want. They want to play that sort of game. So
100%.
Shopify, they handle it well, but Sarah is just ice cold. She's just been able
Sarah's
to
fragging.
be that anchor.
Let us hunt.
Buy back in hand though for MIBR. Still no ults to play with. You're one away from Sarah getting hers. A couple on the horizon for MIBR, and it looks like a very direct approach of Fluorescent. Still prowling, pounces, and again, the deadly duo of Sarah and Floor just laying down the pain on MIBR. Spike now left behind. They've got that slow creep over towards B, but they still need to find some stability here.
Sayuri is able to collect that orb. Astra ult on the board now. Melissa hasn't been able to get any sort of lurks going, and with that wall in her back pocket, she should be able to apply pressure towards Noya, able to break all this utility. And Noya is on the weak side, all alone here, so Melissa's got a lot of work to do ahead of her.
Noya's just got to play patient, play calm, keep this area under control. Now should be on red alert. You can already see Shopify leaning over, all going up, and they are creeping much closer. Noya here.
The spacing here has got to be so good for MIBR.
Does Noya tucks in the corner. Oh, the sleep in, it felt like, as Melissa clears that so comfortably. Site now should be secure, at least for a plant here. The other two players deep towards CT.
A lot of utility for both sides here. This pose,
that's huge.
It lands both.
That's massive, and even gets Melissa. Now they know that one's still tucked towards backside. The probability of one on site and or long is high. Alexis trying to isolate the player towards the back of site itself, forcing them away. Quick clear from Floor, and Sayuri called upon and can't answer. It's 3 standing, it's a defuse, and it's a 4-1 scoreline to Shopify.
Chances, opportunities on the board. That was always going to be an uphill battle if you're MIBR. Just starting the round 3 versus 5. It's just a tough task, but Melissa finally able to get what she wanted towards this B. If she's able to talk to her teammates and let them know, hey, it's just been the KJ solo here, buy me a little bit more time. And if MIBR are able to stay alive in the rounds, not allow Fluorescent to get these opening picks. That should allow them some breathing room here moving forward.
Now, when we were kind of talking about this, me and you have been kind of yapping back and forth about this game, right? You know, who's going to have it, which, what win cons come in, because MIBR have been extremely explosive. They ran that lower bracket like a gauntlet, and they made it out pretty damn clean. I mean, we had 13 zeros, we had a new, target on SRN being maybe the challenger to Floor. But now, first map coming in here, we're already 4-1. And it's been, let's call it what it is. You can see it on the board there, 14-0. This is dominance, right? This is a fire under Fluorescent that we haven't seen until now. She's been excellent, but this is that step up here. Is this just a pound-for-pound difference? What has happened? What has happened to Shopify that they've been able to elevate so high in these 5 rounds?
It's definitely a question of pound-for-pound difference for sure. We need Sayuri to have the kind of game that she had yesterday, and Jelly, she has what it takes to 100%. Set up SRN for those forward kills. They just got to sustain these opening kills. Fluorescent, starting from the pistol round to almost every gun round thus far, has found those opening kills. So MIBR, they've got to button up these opening sequences, make sure if there's an opening, there is a hard trade to follow up, and again, buy Melissa more time.
Looks quite simplistic in approach. This may not be the round that they were looking at to try and implement those changes through the timeout. Got Sheriff's, couple of ults here, but you'd need a lot to go right to be able to utilize them. Just like a little pop flash and a clear. That will catch, but Sarah was perfectly sat there. Beautiful, beautiful little trap played in off the back of the sound cue, sitting anti, sitting safe. And again, Melissa, you're not looking at her to do too much.
Just the protocols are just coming through so strong for Shopify. One of the weaknesses of the Sky is just those birds. It's not, you can anticipate, you can set up, and you saw Sarah anti-flashed behind that wall the whole time. One step ahead is Shopify here, and Melissa has so much work ahead of her. Good double swing from Shopify as well.
They're so drilled. They're so drilled. This is Shopify looking to step up. I mean, they've looked great the whole tournament. I don't think that's unfair to say, but this feels like, hey, okay, we've got a real opponent here. Let's play the game, huh? Let's play the game. Let's play the fun game.
You know me though, Lauren. I'm always a believer, and if there's ever a round to turn things around, it is right now. In round 7, this is the big swing round coming through in the first half. Look at the ultimates coming through here for MIBR as Mel is just stabilizing herself. But every ultimate that you would ever want is on the board. Juves is just one orb away from her KJ ult as well.
But look at the aggression. The turret. I love that. Instantly showing presence, going to force them to re-clear middle or at least put a question mark to it. I like this. If you're going to come against a round like this, why not try and be divisive, be a nuisance, be a real problem?
But that's huge for MIBR. They heard the sound cue from the op. Now they know they didn't give away that opening pick, but oh, this is so tense.
I've got your trail.
Good utility.
Nice.
And SRN wants to get up close and personal to this wall and try to get a pick with these jellies.
Okay, I had to give away that the operator was here as well. Did take a little bit of damage too. SRN trying to play with the audio cues, bait a little bit, show that presence, and exactly that. Look over towards the A side. Look at these 3 players cautiously and carefully working forward. It's Mel on the other side. Now, at this point, you've already seen that just then, I think it was Sarah, invested the dart, found nothing, so they're already hitting that emergency rotate button, get over towards Site, because there's 3 coming through here. Spike is on the way, but it's got a second before it makes it in.
Yeah, it's so far behind. It's so late. This Viper's Pit should buy the time that MIBR are looking for, but we've seen these floods coming through for Fluorescent before.
Oh my God, Mel! How did you just do that? It feels fated! I don't know how she just pulled that off. Give us a replay of that because that felt unfair. There's a Viper's Pit in the way, Mel. You're not meant to be able to get 3.
Oh my God.
She's grinning. Look at that cheesy grin. She's just loving it. You could do no wrong at this point.
Yeah, and that's just salt on top of the wound here, especially because that was finally the one round that MIBR felt like they had a chance. And then there comes Mel just spraying and praying through the smoke.
Floor's fuming. Those were kills for her. How dare you? But 15-0 still yet to die for Floor.
And at this point, Lauren, we got to be asking ourselves, I mean, is Floor going to go the whole half without a death? I don't know if that's ever happened before.
Sure, statisticians out there. Get ready. Get ready. Let's lock in. Maybe this is where it finally ends. Surely, with that pressure through middle, Floor can no longer shine. I mean, maybe I'm down too early. Gets out of danger, feeling there's too much pressure building through here, and rightly so, because SRN was chomping at that bit, waiting to pounce. And actually, SRN gets isolated. That's an issue. Alexis divides and conquers. SRN was left to her own devices. That was almost impossible.
Last time MIBR sent that dog through and SRN was able to get that ground that she wanted this time. So much utility, so much responses from Shopify, and Alexis wants more.
Again, they are up against Sheriffs. They don't need to overfeed the beast, and they don't! Alexis! Composed! Everyone wants their time in the sun. Floor waiting patiently. Here's the next one. Ooh, Floor ain't wanting to give this up. Yeah, Alexis! Okay, now the crowd's getting a little louder. Get in there, Alexis! Oh, not to be, no aces. No aces. 7-1, Christine. This is, I was kind of expecting this to be a bit closer.
Oh boy, MIBR, Marlo, Coach Marlo is in a tough position right now, has to decide whether he's gonna try to give his players a little bit of breathing room here, or maybe he likes the communications coming through from his players here as well. Still, Juve's ultimate is on the board.
Okay, so you've got Juve's ultimate, right? That's all you really got to play with. What are you meant to do? You've got a confident Shopify against you, got Floor. Yeah, exactly what FeS is feeling. You've got everyone firing. What are you meant to do at this point? It feels so oppressive to handle.
It really does, it really does. But MIBR, they've just got to remind themselves that middle has been the name of the game for them thus far this whole tournament on Pearl. So you can see the power of SRN and Jelly. These two comboed together are trying to find themselves some sort of advantage. Breaking this alarm bot should buy them a little bit of control, and they're either going to want to regroup towards a main or go poking towards this street, but Melissa is just... The wall should help, but the high ground, huge
nice. That's massive for Melissa and MIBR. That opens up big opportunities, but they're still going forward. Oh my God, it is going to be a massacre. And so far, it's Mel to succeed, Noya to trade in effectively, and SRN left just drifting. Now, Melissa was the one who won out on that B site, still over towards us, but that spike is just left deep behind the wire in enemy territory. I don't know how you're meant to ever get that back.
Yeah, and Melissa still has to clear every single corner as well. She has no idea that the defenders never came towards B to help. Beautiful movements coming out here for Shopify. Completely controlling the macro game of this first map so far, and Juice feels like she's just gotta use the ult to even grab the spike.
You can see the desperation, right? This is... I mean, we need to invest the ults just for this. And look at the timing as well. You're down to, what, 17 seconds? They have to keep coming towards this site. There's 3 players on it. Sarah tucked in the corner. They cleared towards Pit with a little bit of the Viper util. But you got 10 seconds. Time's running out. And so are your chances. Shopify! Another step. Another dominant round. It doesn't matter if there's 1 alive, 5 alive. Shopify aren't losing rounds.
Every player just stepping up and playing their roles to perfection. Shopify are not giving MIBR an inch on this first map at all. Even these trades, I mean, it looked decent enough. MIBR certainly were more grouped and forward, but the timing that Noya just finds, beautifully ponging off of her teammate's contact there. And here it is, the second timeout coming through here for MIBR. And this is even tougher of a position for Coach Marlo because there's not a single ultimate on the board that he can work with, and the money, it's shot.
Yeah. I don't know what you would say in those moments. There's not much to say. It's a very hard situation to be in. Of course, coming from the lowers, you are going to be at that disadvantage when it comes to the veto. You know, there is that factor, so you're going to start on a strong map here for Shopify. They've got to kind of tailor-make how they wanted to play into this. And it is a long series. We're best of 5s now, right? This goes out of that normal best of 3. You are looking at a long series. So having a good start here for Shopify is fantastic, but it's not the end of the world for MIBR. So chin up and try and do what you can. We have 1 hero rifle coming out. I mean, I'd be surprised if they stuck with that, really. Yeah, it's bits and pieces. It is light out here.
Very light. I'd like to see Melissa applying some more pressure towards this B, but you can see MIBR, they have a different idea. They want to go power and numbers and try to make this low buy work. You can see the hero rifle is on the back of Melissa, so she's going to group with her squad here.
Oh, and look who's coming.
Oh, that's huge.
That's massive. SRN succeeds. Now, Sarah actually could be overwhelmed. Apparently not. Sarah's so cool, so calm, but gets traded into. Melissa brawling out. Perfect. MIBR get some weapons and they get a step towards the site. Finally, a fight going their way.
And the agent info should be coming across. Process of elimination. Now MIBR finally taking that space in the site, and
Spike planted.
Jubes doing her job, holding the perimeter.
Oh, the angle. A gifted cross there. Surprised they didn't get punished, but Neuer gets to take a step closer. Next challenger though, SRN gets beheaded. Neuer now looking to follow up.
And look at the late flank coming from Mel as well. Just biding her time, allowing Neuer to cook.
Yep. Still got the old smell. So sharp with it too. It's just back and forth. Dismantling categorically everything MIBR want to do. And now just Melissa, even the divide on top. Just to add insult to injury, so unnecessary because the diffuser is starting. Melissa trying to make a mad dash for it, trying to do what she can, trying to say on this one, has she bought enough time? I think she has! Melissa, hold on for dear life.
What a round. I didn't even notice that Melissa had bought enough time to drop that Q in the post plant. That was everything for MIBR, but finally they're able to get what they want in the round, and it took all 5 members to group up and get these trades, but for the first time, we're seeing Shopify have a slightly discombobulated round, and MIBR, they're able to capitalize at least.
Okay, game on. Here we go. This is, get a little fire going. Let's see what we've got. Maybe they can close out the rest of these rounds and we get a game. We'll see. Have the purchase. Viper's Pit is there. One away for the divide. Couple of nice bits. Very much on the horizon for MIBR. Of course, on the other side, you still have 3 ults ready to go. So, now SRN looking for those opening opportunities towards B.
Here. It's looking very similar to what MIBR ran on the pistol. On pistol though, both KJ and Astra went streak, but SRN, beautiful shot on the jump spotter.
Lovely.
Jubes is so ready to punish this resniff.
Seems aware of the possibility someone's crept up towards ARP, but staying that diligent, tough.
Yeah, she's got the turret to protect her back as well.
There's a warning signal.
Look at the defenders, they've all left B. This is gonna buy enough time for the spike to slip in.
Okay, divide's gonna go through. That should be a very safe plan here. Looking at the retake though. Wait, SRN takes a glance back around and claims 2 in just that quick moment. Catching all of this. It's all on floor. A 1v5 divide in, plan against her. I think this one's going to be working out, but it is fluorescent. I think that operator looking pretty valuable to keep hold of.
Yeah. Money is good, but it's not the best, so just deciding to walk away with this operator. MIBR, that's what we needed from this team. 1 round at a time, and
absolutely.
After that second timeout, some life into this team,
and also just SRN, couple kills there, confidence build is right, feel like you're actually in the game, warm into it, because you feel like they've been iced out so far. So this is good, this is a good sign of life for the rest of the series, that maybe they warm into it a bit.
Exactly so. For the side of Shopify, they're still feeling pretty good now at this point. Both initiators in Sarah and Alexis, ultimates online as well, so you can definitely expect to see Shopify playing to their win cons, which has been that flood. As Sarah is proccing that Hunter's Fury, Fluorescent should be having a lot of fun. And MIBR looks like they want to do that same spread, that pistol round spread, with KJ and Astra just lurking around and controlling mid.
Flashbang.
Quick flash. Turret in. But again, eyes towards B. It's been far more successful than most of the other attempts through towards A. SRN gifting them that opportunity, that start that they were desperate for up against Mel before.
Orb is up for SRN. I'd like to see her grab that so that she can be a lot more free once she gets close up to Melissa's wall. She decides to just hold the angle, and that's a huge kill for Jubes. No trade for Shopify.
Massive. And that's what she was waiting on. Patience pays. Now the question mark gets put a little towards, I guess you could say, Shopify. What do they want to do with this now? They've lost that mid pressure. Do they try and cheat a rotation over, hope for the best? I feel like you are going to do that. Alexis investing the ult. Neuer hoping to try and Oh my word, SRN just tried to go forward through that? That felt desperate in attempt. Just trying to play ahead of this. And now they regain full control of B.
Yeah, SRN had that dash proc, but Alexis's timing with the KO ult just completely ruined everything. And Noya, the reposition is beautiful.
Oh, it's stunning. Noya has her time in the sun. Everyone getting fours today for Shopify. A 9-3 scoreline. There were signs of life, Christine, but they were glimmers in the end.
Glimmers. Is it enough? Is it enough? SRN, has she warmed up enough going into the second half? That's the question.
Just 3 rounds though. It is dire straits. You gotta turn up here now. You gotta wake up here. Shopify looking locked in. However, Megafabs is joined by 2 very special guests. So let's head over there. Take it away.
Hey guys, I'm here right now with a few Shopify fans. I think it's their first VCT event. No, I'm kidding, of course. It's Sans and Kaida, and we have Flip Up Tiny as well. Guys, how's it been so far? I mean, I believe you've been meeting lots of fans. You know, people have been taking pictures with you left and right. What's your favorite interaction so far?
Mine is getting to meet Floor personally, because I've been a really big fan of hers. So it's been really nice to be able to talk to her. Yeah, that's mine.
What about you?
Honestly, just going out and seeing Germany before, because I've been here a few times for VCT, but I was a player before, so it was kind of nice to be able to go out and do stuff outside of that. And there's been a couple of fan interactions that have been really sweet and cute.
Yeah. I did not know that, by the way, that you were a player before. Wow. What about you, Ripple Tiny?
I think it's a mix of both. I've been a huge fan of Mel for a long time, and then getting to know like all of the players, and then going to Germany for the first time has been really amazing.
Okay, so we've got both Mel and Floor stands here in the house. Now, there is an MVP award for this tournament, and Tens, you might know something a little bit about that. Do you think it's going to be Floor for this one, or are there other candidates in mind?
Honestly, it has to be Floor in my book.
What about you, Kaide?
Floor as well.
Definitely Floor. I mean, why do I even have to ask you? You're like one of the biggest Floor fans in the world.
Yeah.
What about you?
Floor.
Definitely Floor, right? It has to be after that performance. And this current performance, I mean, Tens, you were saying how, you know, the early snowball is so important. Do you think it's still as important, especially since MIBR, they look like they're gaining some ground, they're getting some rounds in there? Is it still going to go the way of Shopify, you think?
Honestly, when I was seeing just how Shopify was starting off and how strong it was, especially Floor was like 13-0 before I could even see what was going on. So I do think that snowball potential, especially on your Jet players, is really important. And honestly, I think we're looking for like a 30-bomb game here.
Absolutely one of the best Jet players as well in there, right? And Kaide, how do you feel about your Ribbit title?
Oh, I love it. I'm so glad that Riot was able to give us the chance to like choose a title for this event, so yeah.
And Pipple Tiny, quick prediction for this. What's going to be the final score?
Oh, maybe like a 13-7.
Oh, that's really close. Let's see if that happens. Let's get back into the game.
Thank you very much. Always nice to hear. A little room over there.
Yeah.
Big fans. Big fans.
I love that Mika said 13-7 would be close because we're dealt with a 9-3 here as well.
You know what? 7 rounds would be good.
Cool.
I'll take 7.
Yep.
You know what? We'll take a strong 7. As it stands, though, we're sat at 93. If you're tuning in, you're wondering, can Floor get the 30? The question is there enough rounds for Floor to get that in? We'll find out. As we start MIBR on the defending side now, looking to try and stake their claim. And it's an instant reminder. Floor is in the server and he's looking deadly, but overcooks it a little bit here. Melissa dominates! Controls on and turns it into a masterpiece. Sarah left with the pieces of her side scattered over the floor. First contact found, Sayori dropped. Hold on. 3 players though. You don't give this up. You don't make mistakes here, right? You lock in. You need this round. This is the round you are desperate for. And Melissa, when MIBR needed her most, was right there.
Right there indeed. What a turnaround. What a turn of events. I mean, you got to feel for Floor there. I love the space making that she was trying to do for her teammate. Just dashing forward, creating that trade opportunity, but she was too low. Yeah. Too low. Melissa just needed to breathe on her a little bit, quickly finding that one. And that's exactly what you need if you're MIBR. You need that hero to come through and just drag your team back into this game. So MIBR, this second round, Lauren, this is the most terrifying. Too many times this tournament so far, you've dominated the pistol. And things have just gone too chaotic on this second, so we'll see how MIBR actually handle this one. Floor, that Sheriff, this drone, she's looking for an opening.
Should be handle, I want to say. I want to say handle. It is. Mel goes down. Floor goes down. Perfect little trap set there by Door, denying all of that want and capability to close on any of those kills.
Sound cue, giving the players on MIBR everything they want to be able to react off of. Crossfire's coming through strong here. Sayuri wants to peek off this contact. Melissa, that's not good.
Hero to near on zero, but Sayuri is there. Safe pair of hands. Keeps it secure. Maybe we avoid Art. Art seemed bad. Me no go Art. 9 to 5. Okay, this was the steps they needed, right? We were talking about taking those steps and kind of going through the motions, seeing how far they'd get. They looked composed here, Christine. This is a nice answer back for them. Find their footing here, build into the game.
SRN has a lot of work ahead of her. You can see full armor coming out across the board for Shopify, so SRN's gonna have to choose her angles wisely. All 5 members. Shopify, we've seen this execute come through here before. Noya, you can expect to re-wrap around, find her timing on street as Sarah finds an opening.
Off the back of the flash, they go for it. It's Jelly who gets Mel down, but the trade out. So SRN falls, but Sayuri waiting. That's a Bucky, that should be ringing the alarm bells, but they want the fight. Sarah just gets put into the blender.
And she did so much damage to Floor as well. Just fade away with that Bucky. Noya, though, with all that distraction, has found this timing. Melissa.
The timing is outrageous between the two. Melissa just on that deeper angle. Noya so sharp with it, but gotta be careful now. Could get over. Whoa! A bounding Bucky destroys Noya, and now down to 2. Floor and Alexis in unison. Oh, they can't make it past the Bucky. Devastating round. MIBR back in business.
Round by round, Lauren.
That's
round by round. These are some feel-good rounds as well if you're MIBR. You're starting to feel confident each step of the way, and Sayuri, this is exactly the player we were talking about, having such a spectacular day yesterday. IGL stepping up and just holding her ground in this A main. And Marlo's
Feel-good
just
rounds.
Like, oh my God, thank Jesus.
That is amazing for them. They now have the divide there for Sayuri as well. I think they're pretty close to Melissa's ult as well. 2 off. Here, Floor didn't get that early start. Not to the same extent at the least. So no knives to bank on. We got Sheriffs and a Stinger. So seeing what they can achieve here. Already early stake on towards middle.
Melissa breaking that drone really early has made Sarah a lot more nervous. You can see she used her dart as well. Both pieces of util already burned. And on top of that, Melissa, she's gonna turn around and quickly drop that molly on A main as well.
Oh, the drive-by, quick as lightning, but the trade is there. They couldn't join her yet. Noya still tipping the scales, but back and forth. Noya, what is this? That was ridiculous. Where the hell did Noya just get that second from? I gotta watch that back. But SRN has had some rounds, and they could do one right now. Patience, creeping towards the site, looking to find a fair fight, but you're seeing already smokes up does allow for the gap to be closed slightly, but also Alexis to evacuate.
Beautiful discipline, beautiful, not giving SRN anything.
First bit of contact, and that's it. Not even noting the other 2 players all over towards this side. And again, there's the stall on the spike. They've got so much time. SRN still considering where the post plant is. Has to check all this, go through the protocol list, and it's time to call it off. Time to try and keep that operator. Shopify Rebellion. I mean, they were pacey there, Christine.
Yeah, and that was all off the back of Noya's 2 kills, right? Sure, fine. She got away with 1, but the fact that she found a second in art on that timing, on that lurk, was just everything. They needed Melissa to be able to stay alive, and this round is gonna hurt. I mean, MIBR were finally starting to make this half competitive. Okay, it was just, wow.
That was kind of nice on Jelly. Damn.
Yeah, that is tough. That is tough. Good news for MIBR, they still have enough money to have a good buy coming into this one, but this is one of the last chances they're gonna have in this half to make this one competitive.
We have Sarah's ult on one side, still got that divide with Sayuri. But that operator, in my mind, has to be key here. Not in the right place at the beginning, at the very least, but rotations can always bring it into play. first contact really going to be noted here with a little bit of util shown over towards B.
And you can see quick reactions coming out from the defenders in MIBR. Each time Shopify had made this B hit off the drone, they've always committed in this tournament so far.
Clearing methodically, carefully, noting everything possible. Darts at air. Look at this set piece coming through. Floor going to take the space. Oh! How does Floor turn to get that kill? I don't know! And Sarah gets a second in this! It felt like there was an opportunity, a little window of chance for MIBR to maybe strike back, but apparently I was wrong and so were they. Another ult to layer on top. Alexis invests instantly, and that may be the just no-go already.
That is so unfortunate if you're Jubes there. I don't think she even caught the flash. She just got lost in the sauce with that smoke.
What are you meant to do?
Unfortunate. The amount of pressure that Fluorescent is able to apply on her opponents is just something else entirely. Jelly's able to find one for herself, get an ult orb as well. SRN, you gotta survive.
You gotta keep this. That's... I don't know if it... I mean, would the exits even have been worth it for that? I don't know. Anyway. Doesn't get pressured in the end, gets to walk away with the op. Everyone kind of just stays as they are here, but it's 11 for Shopify. MIBR held on 6 now, getting scary for them. And if I'm not mistaken, did they burn both timeouts in that first half? This is now going to be harder for them to maybe construct something going forward. If they pump the brakes there, you don't get it in the second. Now, with a maybe usable scoreline at 11-6, I'm sure they'd love to maybe touch base, check back in once these ults start coming into play, but they're going to have to just go for it with the IGL.
Yeah, and MIBR, they're going to have to play the retake game here coming into this round. They've got 2 huge ultimates to allow a strong side on one and to retake on the weak. But SRN, she wants to get active.
Just to punish.
No flashes nearby for her, though.
That's got to have been spotted. Again, that ult. Oh, it's quick as lightning! Mel just gets eviscerated, and Floor wants to try and avenge her fallen IGL, but no strike back to be had. But Noya, in the meantime, try to take space elsewhere, show presence, keep Melissa very much locked in towards this.
The fact that Melissa's maintaining this line and the fact that MIBR have all of art control, though, gives a lot of confidence over to Jubes. Another crossfire on this art area. And Melissa, she's got to handle this street pressure well. She's still got the molly.
So was the one who got the ball rolling in this half, got things started. Does the knife land?
Did it catch her?
No, it didn't. I'm pretty sure there was no connection on that one.
I don't know about this ult.
You and me both here. Shopify trying to find a way through the fog. There's a little bit of a gap to plant in.
30 seconds
Yeah, maybe this feels a bit too desperate. Doesn't quite get what they want done, but let's see what the conclusion is. And that's your conclusion. Sarah with a quick 2, putting it down to a 4v3, favorable to Shopify, who have the site. SRN needs to find value here. Needs to find it fast. Quick little trade out, wants that rifle, wants to get back to business. Trying to take the fight towards the back of the site. It takes away Sarah and Floor, but Alexis stands tall and stands on guard. Shopify up to 12.
The hero, Alexis, stepping up huge. And unfortunate for MIBR. We talked about that molly in the back pocket for Melissa, and that decision, it's a tricky one always, but she decides to try to stop the power with her ultimate, but that just completely blocks her lines. They don't know where the attackers are now, and Shopify are able to handle that round so well. Teamwork is a dream work, and all members were just slowly constricting around that Viper's ult. Beautiful reaction for Shopify.
Get out of my way!
Floor's got ult here, you can hear those knives coming in quickly. SRN still with that operator, and Floor wants in, wants to draw blood, does a little bit of chip damage, well quite a bit actually towards Jelly. But look at the reaction, MIBR put bodies on the site, denial on entry. Yeah, that's huge impact, and Melissa then takes over the mantle. Sarah now wants to play aim training, but it ain't gonna go well. SRN keeps them at arm's length, 3 alive, and MIBR still breathing.
Just barely, barely, but once again, heroics coming out here for Sayuri. You gotta love the reposition as well. This play right here, she started off way back in secret, but as soon as the hit came, she just quickly forward in that church position, and it completely caught Fluorescent off guard. You've gotta see more individual plays coming out from MIBR in moments just like that.
Yeah. Now, speaking of ults, SRN's got theirs. We still got that divide, not found that time to maybe invest it yet. Lockdown for Neuer. And that should be enough. That should be a tell here. SRN! The cleared so quickly! That's Neuer to claim it, but everyone had the right idea in mind. Now Florg trying to step forward a little bit further. Just around that corner was a player, but MIBR playing safer, a little bit deeper on the site, yeah, tucking in towards the back.
You should run.
Jelly, that's, yeah, playing just behind the wall. Gonna fall away from this, but the lockdown's in effect.
Jelly still had the flash in her back pocket. An old school fight was just to fight right beyond that wall, but they choose to get back and try for this flood. Astra ult on the board. Oh, does she go with this? Okay, kept composed, kept tame. Plants in.
Spike planted.
5v4. Divide is there. We were talking about it. Comes in. They got to clear quick. It's Sarah at the back of the site, though. Melissa going to find Neuer. Now it's time to spring the trap. Sarah leans a little closer as Alexis in unison. And now a 3v2. Sayuri and Melissa have their work cut out here, and they've got to do it. There's no backing away from this anymore. The divide going to fall, and Fluorescent stands with Val. Shopify 13-7. A very clear message sent on map 1.
And the tone here that Shopify are setting early, it is a scary one. If you're MIBR, Pearl, it didn't go their way every step of the way. It was Shopify finding the openings and Fluorescent just having so much fun in that server.
And that's the scary thing. Between Sarah and Floor, they were having fun. They look excited, composed. But it's a marathon here, so don't get ahead of ourselves. We'll be back after the break with the rest of the best of 5.
Guys, I love that they're doing breathing exercises. I'm watching them, and we can just not stop. Like, we can't shut the f up. None of us can shut the f up.
Maybe look in the mirror.
Flora, I want you to know that Nicole asked us to be quiet for 55 seconds, and you immediately broke the silence.
That's bro.
Yeah, Patron 10,000 is on our team.
Yep.
Red Bull gives you wings.
So, you want to work in esports?
Great. Step 1, never spell it like that.
Better. Step 2, apply to the Mastercard Gamer Academy, a program created in partnership with G2 designed to give you all the tools and resources needed to help you start a career in esports.
This is an education in everything, from creating content to managing a team.
All from experts who will explain every aspect of running a top-tier org, prepping for a broadcast, or designing global esports events for millions of fans.
Selected participants will have access to live lectures and insights you won't find anywhere else.
And even the opportunity to travel to the League of Legends Mid-Season Invitational and Valorant Champions.
So they're flying them out to champs?
Yep.
Thank you, Mastercard.
So if you've ever dreamed of a life working in esports, this could be your opportunity to apply for an unforgettable experience.
Can anyone apply?
No, you can't apply.
Welcome to Rebel Homegrounds.
오므라도 2023 챔피언!